All right, everybody out there, do you want to make some money? Well, you're listening to the right podcast. It's Money Mouth. You're here with John B. Eazy Durnell. That's right, everybody. John B. Eazy has slid over from the Ricky Williams trilogy over to Money Mouth, and he also brought over the Duke. Duke Thompson, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, my friend. Ready for football, ready for this preseason crap to be over and actually put some real money on some real games.
You can put real money on preseason if you want to.
That's still not real games. So.
Hey, dude, but they accept real money for it. I'll tell you that right now.
They'll take your money. Yes,
they'll take your money, and unfortunately, if they lose, they have to give money. So, that's part of the game. That's called gambling. Well, we're going to be talking about some gambling that's up and coming this week. We're going to be talking about college football, folks. It is about time for the youngsters, the ones who are trying to make their way into the NFL or whatever they plan on doing. Those kids are getting ready to hit the field and start hitting each other and try to score some points. Now, we have quite a few games that are coming up because why? It's week one. Everybody's salivating and ready to go. Now, a very big game that's coming up is going to be Florida against Miami. That's right, not Miami of Ohio, because that team has only produced one player. That's Ben Roethlisberger. Now, we're talking about the U. All right, so what do you think about this game, Duke?
Well, you got a SEC versus ACC matchup here. ACC, has been – let's just be honest, this ain't the Miami of the old days.
It's not the old U, but this U has had some good in the past. Now, they had a good run about 2 years ago, I believe. Last year, they kind of fumbled a little bit, but the spread is only 7.5, my friend.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Okay.
Florida, too, has not been the heyday of Urban Myers. They've struggled. Let's see. Last year, Florida went 10-3.
They had a pretty good year. Now, they weren't shabby, sir.
No, they're not shabby, but they're not the dominant, undefeated type of teams we used to see in the 90s.
Well, it's true because they did lose to teams like Kentucky. Now, again, Kentucky did do well this past year, so we can't quite say that losing to Kentucky meant that you were a terrible team. It just means that you weren't the team that people thought you were. But this was a good Kentucky team, so it kind of makes things a little different.
Yeah, this ain't Kentucky that we grew up on.
Yeah,
that was just a 2-win team against some no-name college. I really like Miami in this one, man. 7.5 underdog at home.
Well, they're not at home, no, dude. Florida is at home. See, that's why I don't like it.
No, University of Miami's at home.
According to this, Florida's at home, and if that's if we have two different things saying the two different teams are at home, then it might be on neutral ground. It is,
because this is the season for.
No, okay, it's neutral ground. It's in Orlando, Florida.
So neutral.
So it's neutral ground. So I'm leaning even more towards Florida now that it's neutral ground. If Miami was at home, they had a better spot. But this is neutral ground, and this is kind of just depending on which team is better. And Florida's probably going to be the better team, even though Miami's going to step up. They had a winning season last year. Don't get me wrong. They were 7-6 when the dust finally settled. Unfortunately, they lost in their bowl game to Wisconsin. They lost to them pretty bad, dude. They lost 35-3. So, I don't know. Maybe the U can bounce back. They got people who are getting older that are a little more spry and probably ready to go and take some hits and deliver punishment. But I don't know, man. I'm thinking Florida should be able to get it done because they got to hit somebody in the mouth to start the season.
Miami was 7-6. This is neutral ground. This is an SEC team. You know what? I want to agree with you, man. I'll go Florida.
I'm just saying, dude, neutral ground. It was weird because with yours saying that they were at home and mine saying the other team was at home, I'm like, wait a second. I was like, I bet it's neutral ground. And it was. All right. Because it's two Florida teams and it's week 1. It makes sense for them to put them in neutral ground. So they're going to be playing in Orlando, Florida, the land of Mickey Mouse and Tiger Woods. All right, well, we got other games that are going to be happening. Another one that's, sparked some attention here. Another battle involving the ACC. This one is Georgia Tech against Clemson. Now, Clemson is number 1 starting off the season. Makes perfect sense. They just won the national championship. They also have a really, really hot quarterback with this now a sophomore. He was throwing balls all over the defense for Alabama, and he looked like he was just, carving them up like they were, a Thanksgiving turkey, I guess. But right now, they're going to be playing Georgia Tech, and they have Clemson winning by 35.5, my friend, nearly 36 points. I just don't think they're going to beat them that badly, I know they'll win, and they'll probably win convincingly, but 35 is a lot.
35 is quite a bit. Remember, these are just kids, people. These are not professionals. It's not Belichick.
Well, I don't know, man. Clemson and Alabama are basically been playing like professional teams.
Oh, but I'm saying, well, let's say they're getting paid. That's professional, but they're not supposed to be being paid, people. So,
they kind of are getting paid. Like,
they are getting paid. Okay, let's just say they're amateur status. But Georgia Tech got a little heart to them. They got that. They're going to run the triple option. Clemson's not used to seeing that. 35 points. I think they'll let the gas off at 21, then maybe put a backup quarterback to play. But 35 is quite a bit. I do like Georgia Tech at this one, not to lose by 35.
Yeah, and that's what I'm feeling too. I just don't think that Clemson is going to put that many on them in the very first week. Now, not to get them wrong, not to say that they aren't putting up major points on teams. They just weren't putting that kind of points up against like quality teams. Like, let's say last year they beat Louisville 77-16, but that's not the Louisville that had, the former Heisman Trophy, winner on it. Like, it's different, it's a little different situation, I'm thinking, I'm thinking Clemson will win, but they're not going to put up that kind of point. And there's no need to, it's early in the season. They're not going to want to get hurt by doing a little extra. So I think the safe bet is that Georgia Tech will lose, just not by a lot.
All they have to do is go undefeated to be in the playoffs. Style points ain't going to matter with Clemson. So I think if it's up 21-0 or 21 points, I believe that the Clemson will just ease off the gas a little bit. Go ahead, send your second, third string guys in there, get some time, make it look good. So I like Georgia Tech in this one. Probably be running the triple option, of course.
All right. Now we have another Florida situation. This one, Florida A&M against UCF. Now, UCF has spouted out that they have been a national champion multiple times, probably because they feel like they have been besmirched. They're playing Florida A&M, a team that I don't expect anything from, but the spread is 45.5. Good grief, dude. Good grief. I almost don't even want to touch this because that's so many points.
That's a lot of points to put up on a team, man.
But they're saying there's absolute no respect for Florida A&M. And if they're putting that with a team that they don't even truly respect as a team that could be quote unquote a real national champion, even if they go undefeated, I just don't know. I don't know how they're going to be putting up 45 points on this team. Not to say that they can't score that. I just don't know if the spread is going to be that as well. Again, on this one, but dude, do we know anything about Florida A&M? Have they ever been a decent organization?
I don't know, man. I haven't heard much of Florida A&M. They haven't really popped up in the news. No real upsets lately that I can remember. It's just a lot of points, but it's just one of those games that you could see them losing by maybe 50 or 60. So, I mean, UCF has been claiming that they are the national champions. I believe that's the team, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to want to come out and do some style points. You know, style
wait,
points.
no. It's which one did you say is Central Florida?
University of Central Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we could always just not touch it.
I say don't touch it. It's just too much.
It's all right, man. That's fair. That's fair. We won't touch that one. But what we will do is go down and touch one that might be a little better. It's going to be Utah at 14 against BYU in BYU's country. So they're going down to Brigham Young.
Whoa.
The spread is only 4, dude.
Ooh, it dropped down. Damn. Yeah. Yesterday, my records show that it was actually 5.
Well,
that shows that the money's coming on Utah. I mean, BYU.
Brigham Young. Yeah. It's coming in on BYU. Now, I don't know why. I have no idea why. I don't think that that's the case. I think Utah will still get it done, regardless. They're not that. I mean, they're a pretty good program. I mean, that's really what we're looking at here is programs. Not to say that BYU hasn't had their moments, but I don't think they're going to start off the season just trucking through Utah. So I'm going to go Utah.
Yeah, Steve Young ain't back there. This is Steve Young days. Utah, BYU just doesn't scare me. Utah scares me more. I like Utah. I'll go to Utah with you on that one. I'll think they will cover the spread by 4 easily.
All right.
Not easily, but there'll be a challenge. They'll make it competitive.
Now, there's also another game that's happening on Thursday that I just don't think we should touch either. It's Texas Tech against Texas A&M. Or, excuse me, Texas State. Damn, I keep wanting to say Texas Tech, and I know it's because my love of Patrick Mahomes. I know that's just where he went.
Oh, he's still over that?
Well, dude, everywhere I go, I got to talk about Patrick Mahomes. So anyway.
It's your man crush, man. You haven't had a quarterback since Trent Green back there. So
well, it's true, man. Concussion Green. But always wanted that extra yard, and then he got knocked out for a couple of weeks. Either way.
A few days, man. He'll be back next week. He's expected.
Oh, come on, dude. He had so many concussions and injuries, the man could barely walk.
He's actually doing pretty good doing the commentary for CBS.
Well, yeah, because he's not getting hit in the head on the regular. Like his brain isn't hitting skull. So we have Texas State against Texas A&M, and man, the spread is 34.5. I just don't want to touch that at all.
Do you not, man? I can't feel Texas State to cover, man.
Texas State?
Yeah, Texas A&M. What were they last year? I just don't see Patrick Mahomes.
He's not. Patrick Mahomes didn't play for Texas A&M. This is a different team. Texas A&M, mind you, is in the SEC, man. So they're not just a rollover squad. They went.
Yeah, right. They went 9-4. Okay, so
I mean, they held their own within the SEC. They won some games there, and we're talking about Texas State, dude. I mean, that's nobodies. Those are nobodies. I mean, I have a feeling that they would run them into the ground, but I just don't know their coaching well enough. Like, I don't know if they're ferocious enough to do that kind of behavior,
I think Texas State University, let's see. I'm just curious last year. Well, I got the internet right here.
Oh, I mean, I can pull it up for you, man. If you want to know, they went 3-9.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, 34 points.
You know what? Let's go Texas A&M. I mean, let's do it. They're at home.
I don't want to touch it.
They're playing a team that went 3-9, dude. Just might as well. Let's just say they go beat the mess out of them.
I'll jump on the bandwagon for this one. Texas A&M it is.
I mean, come on, dude. They went 3-9. Clearly, there's not a winning culture. They went 1-7 in their conference.
Texas.
I mean, yeah. Let's just say what it is. It's probably a beating that will be of tremendous proportions. All right, so we also have on Friday a couple of games. One's Tulsa and Michigan State. The other one's Wisconsin against University of Southern Florida at University of Southern Florida. I don't know, man. Wisconsin is a good squad. I mean, they won their bowl game. I don't know, man. They're always in the mix. They have them winning by 13. I just don't know if they're going to win by more than that on the road. And then Michigan State.
South Florida. I mean, as Wisconsin went, I just don't see them being dominant. Like, maybe they can win by 14, but I feel like this beginning of the season, like Wisconsin is just not a powerhouse like that. I think they could win by 10, maybe 13, but that 0.5, unless the money comes hard in or the public comes on South Florida and it drops before then. But man, that's a tough one.
I mean, the team itself has been a respectable organization over the years. So, I mean, if we just go on that alone, their record as a university is 133 and 98. So they usually do at least put up pretty good teams down there in South Florida. The Bulls are usually pretty good. I mean, I think they're just going to be overwhelmed by Wisconsin, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, Wisconsin, I think they have something to prove. They're 19th this year, ranked. So maybe they just want to have something to prove. And they got a couple of cupcake games. They got South Florida coming up and then Central Michigan. Then they take on the big dog, Michigan. So I got to say, I do like Wisconsin because they were first in the division last year. So I think they got something to improve. I'll take Wisconsin to cover. It's 14, maybe 17 they'll win by, but I like Wisconsin.
All right, man. Well, in other news, Alabama, of course, is going to be playing a game. They'll be playing Duke, team that produced the number, 6 pick in the draft this past season. Was that correct? Number 6?
Yes.
Yeah, number 6.
Oakland?
Huh?
Was it Oakland, the running back from Alabama?
No, dude. The Daniel Jones or whatever the guy's name is, the quarterback behind Eli Manning.
No, oh, Duke. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude, Duke. So Daniel Jones, undeserving, according to Baker Mayfield, was the number 6 pick.
Undeserving. That's harsh words there, buddy.
Hey, that's what Baker said. So either way, Alabama at number 2 has 34.5. They got to score a lot. Now, I will admit, Alabama covered the spread more times than not last year. And
Alabama.
I'm not surprised if they don't do it again this year, dude.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident about that. Even with the third-string guys, I feel like they can put up 14 to 21 points on Duke.
Right, and at this point in time, they're just making running backs for the NFL. And whoever their running back is this year is probably just going to storm through Duke. They're not going to know what to do.
No. Derrick Henry does have the longest touchdown, 99 yards. So the only successful next to Mark Ingram, of course, but in the NFL. But they produce Heisman Trophy running backs, that's for sure.
Yeah, they definitely are getting guys in there. I mean, Yeldon, if he had a little more size, he might have been a little more of a threat.
He didn't play for the Jaguars? Yes.
Yeah. So, but either way.
Alabama, about 35.
Yeah, so I think that'll work. Now, they also have Ohio State playing Lane Kiffin's team of FAU. They have Ohio State winning by 27. I kind of feel like Lane would be at this point in time finally getting some people over there, maybe making a better squad. But, I mean, 27 points is a lot, man. I still think Ohio State can put up 4 touchdowns on Kiffin's team. I think they can win by 28 or more, but especially at home.
I know, man, but something about Lane, man. Something about Lane.
Don't believe in it. Don't believe in it. Don't believe in it because he's not actually out there on the field. He's coaching, but he's not physically out there. I know there's going to be new regime in Ohio State, but I mean, there's a tradition there, and it's at home. I got to believe they're going to go out with the intent to, set an example and try to beat the mess out of Lane Kiffin's team. So I'm going with Ohio State on that.
I ain't going to touch it. We'll put that off into your picks for Ohio State, but
all right,
touch it, man. Just something tricky about this tricky Lane, man. If he's willing to leave the University of Tennessee in the middle of the night, that man has things up his sleeve. He's a trick coach, man.
All right. Well, now we're getting into the lower top 25 teams that we're not even sure are supposed to even be in the top 25, but they just kind of are because, maybe some money's been passed around. Iowa State is playing Northern Iowa. They got Iowa State winning by 18.5. That's the spread. I don't really believe in either squad at all in this. Wait, did we touch the Michigan State one in Tulsa? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
I don't want to touch it anyway because Michigan State doesn't score points and they have them up by 22.5, so I'm not touching that. So they just don't score. They win with defense and they don't ever put up any offense. Iowa State, man, I think is going to probably barely win this game. But I wouldn't put any money on it. I don't know them well enough.
Just don't trust them. Can't trust them.
I just don't know them well enough. Again, when you get to the lower top 25 teams, those are teams that get bounced in and out a lot. If you're like 22, 23, 24, half the time I think they put those teams in there just so they can get bounced out.
Well, I guess it's time for that break, my friend.
Well, you know what? We can't take a break right now. Folks, you've been listening to Money Mouth. We're out here talking about gambling, trying to make you some money. So stay tuned. There's going to be some more Money Mouth right after the break. All right, welcome back to Money Mouth. That's right, folks. Podcast where we're putting our money where our mouth is. We are putting a dollar bet on all of the games that we're betting on here today, whichever game we feel is the right choice. We're going to put our money where our mouth is. That's why we call it Money Mouth. All right, so you're here with John B. Eazy, Durnell, and of course, Duke Thompson is with me, and we are making our decisions. Our next decision takes us to where we grew up, a city called Nashville, Tennessee. Music City is going to be home to a game where Vanderbilt is playing Georgia. And I just don't think Vanderbilt is going to be able to cover the spread of 21. I think Georgia might put some numbers on it.
Whoa, Vanderbilt's not favored.
No. I didn't say Vanderbilt's favored. I said I don't think they're going to cover the spread of 21. Oh. Yeah. I don't think they're covering it. I think they're going to get beat by more than 21. I think they're going to get beat by like 4 touchdowns.
I believe they're going to beat the spread. This is not the Vanderbilt of the old. This is the Vanderbilt of the new.
Dude, okay. All right, now tell me what the new Vanderbilt's record was.
The new Vanderbilt record was
probably wasn't that great, man. If you look back, it couldn't be that great, especially if Kentucky was able to do well.
But when they play at home against high-powered teams other than Alabama, they are thorn in their side. 21 is a little high to me, but we could. I mean, unless if you say Vanderbilt's going to cover, then I just can't touch it then, because I just believe in Vanderbilt. They're kind of a good team like that, especially in the beginning of the season. They may get close.
Yeah, I just don't think they make it close later on when they start to figure things out. But when it's the first week, Vanderbilt usually isn't doing very well. So that's why I think they're going to get destroyed. It's a little too early for them to be seeing a number 3 seed if they want to do some damage, If it was somebody like Tennessee, maybe they get up for it. But I don't know, man. It's Georgia. So we can be split on that. That's perfectly fine. But then there's yet another top 25 game that also involves a team from Middle Tennessee. As a matter of fact, they are Middle Tennessee. They're playing Michigan. Now, I don't think Middle Tennessee is going to cover the 34-point spread, but, crazier things have happened.
Man, Middle Tennessee good, man. What was the record last year? Let's look that up.
Middle Tennessee's record last year?
Yes, the Sun Belt.
Oh, come on, dude. They weren't that good.
Oh man, dude. On a side note, man, they're selling alcohol inside MTSU Stadium. How
Well, I mean, it's
crazy!
about time.
How crazy is that for that old ways, man, of smuggling alcohol into that game? Good times. Putting whiskey in your Coke bottle. Classic.
Hey, well, you know what? They're probably still charging a lot for the alcohol, but look, at
Oh,
this point in time, they're probably thinking, look, let's just embrace the fact that this is a college town. But this past season, they lost to Appalachian State in the New Orleans Bowl. As a matter of fact, they lost to them pretty bad, 45-13. But their season record was 8-5, so they at least made it to a bowl game. But I just think this might be a game that's too big for their britches, seeing if they got mercilessly beaten by Appalachian State. I don't think they're going to be showing up for Michigan.
Appalachian State did win the Sun Belt last year.
Yeah, but they're also not the best team in the nation.
Conference USA, MTSU went 8-6 last year.
Yeah. No, I'm going Michigan's going to probably beat the ever-loving mess out of them, dude. I don't think it's going to turn out the way you want it to.
Okay. What degree to disagree on that one then?
All right, fair enough. Well, there's still more fun happening in the top 25 with Auburn at home against Oregon. The Ducks are going on a long trip down to the deep south. They're going to try to see if they can hold their own against the good old Tigers or War Eagles, whatever the hell you want to call it. Now, I don't think that Auburn is going to lose this game, but the spread is only 3. I mean, I could easily see Auburn winning by a field goal, and that really doesn't mean much. That's a wash. So, I mean, I feel Oregon's the better bet because just the fact that the spread's only 3.
I like Oregon. The Auburn's defense does not see this type of offense that often in many years. Oregon is just that high flying speed. Auburn, they went. Auburn went. 8-5 last year, and they went 3-5 in the SEC. So their defense is not the stoutest like it used to be. I'll take Oregon.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, dude. I was thinking Oregon's the better bet in that. I think they might go down there and catch them a little off guard. Now, there's also another top 25 game that you wanted to bring up. I could care less about it, but we'll talk about it. It's New Mexico State and Washington State. Now, I don't really know much about New Mexico State. Washington State had a good season last year, but the spread is 31.5. And, I mean, unless you know something about New Mexico State, I don't know, man.
Washington State. I just don't believe in the Pac-12 like that.
I know you don't believe in the Pac-12, but now you got to have to believe in New Mexico State actually having some pride. I mean, this is a cupcake team that's being brought in to get beat, dude. They're being brought in to get beat. I mean, New Mexico State, I have not heard of them ever doing anything worth a damn. All right, so there's no reason to put money on them to cover a spread. I mean, even though this is extremely large, and it is a large spread, I still don't know if I want to put money on that. That's – I mean, man, do you know something I don't know about New Mexico State? I'm going to look them up right now.
Sometimes you just got to go by your gut, and I just don't believe in Washington State.
Well, okay, it's fine to not believe in one team, but if the other team is so terrible that they shouldn't be believed in, then you should check. Yeah, dude, New Mexico State was 3-9 last year, dude. 3-9. They averaged scoring themselves 25 points. Their average opponent scored 41 points. So right there already, you're looking at they usually got beat by nearly 20 points. So now you only have to add another 11 on top of that, 12, basically 13 more points, which is 2 touchdowns. They average getting beat already by a pretty good chunk. So
I always believe in the underdog, and
I don't know if you should in this one.
I don't know, man. I just feel like we'll split that one.
All right, dude. You know what? I'll go with you on this one just to see what happens. You know what? But I really don't think that Washington State is going to let up on the gas pedal, seeing as they have to make a statement if they want to be respected in the Pac-12, which they pretty much aren't. So, and the Aggies are a terrible team.
Well, let's go speak to a team that we both of us don't respect because we grew up in the good old University of Tennessee land with the days of Peyton Manning and everybody's kid being named Peyton and a dog being named Peyton and every other crappy thing that Peyton.
Everybody's dog was named Smokey, dude. Get it right.
Smokey, Peyton, it don't matter, man.
It was Smokey. Everybody named their dog after the dog.
NFL. There, I said it, people. You Colt fans don't like it. Andrew Luck overrated too. But let's get back to Tennessee.
Yeah, they're playing Georgia State, man. And unless you're saying that you think Georgia State is going to cover the spread of 26 points, which I highly doubt, I'm pretty sure Tennessee is going to roll over this team and embarrass them.
I mean, Tennessee, though, man, from what I've been hearing, it was like, we're rebuilding, man.
No, this is their cupcake. This is the team you bring in. Again, the first few weeks are the teams that you bring in to just beat to a pulp, man. That they know their role, and Georgia State's being brought in there to get beat.
I mean, Vanderbilt had a better record than Tennessee last year.
Yo, but this is Georgia State. They're not even in a real conference, homie. This is about as cupcake as you could get. They might even be a 2A team.
Are they Georgia? I thought it was Georgia Southern.
No, dude, this is Georgia State. This is not a real team. I don't even know what conference they're in, dude.
Georgia State University.
Georgia State is not a real team. I'm telling you, man. There's no reason to be putting money on a not real team. Tennessee will beat. This team went 2-10 in the Sun Belt, dude. Come on now.
Ooh, in the Sun Belt, huh?
And 2-10, no less, man. They weren't even competitive, dog.
I was blinded by my hatred of Tennessee.
I think you were, man. I don't think this team's gonna put up a fight.
Can't be bet with your heart, so I would take. I would just say that's a wash and put no money on that one then.
Oh, I don't know how that's a wash, man. Jeez. Tennessee.
I'm away from my memory, saying that I don't think this game is going to play. So
all right, I understand, man. I understand. Well, there's one more game that's involving an SEC team that I believe you wanted to talk about, right? Was it the Ole Miss game? Is that right? Ole Miss in Memphis?
Ole Miss, yes. We need two more teams to pick on 10 games of the week, so let's go Memphis and Ole Miss.
Well, here's my theory on this. Memphis always puts up a good fight, but Ole Miss has been trying to do something recently. So even though Memphis has got the 6 points, I'm leaning towards Ole Miss winning this game.
I like Ole Miss, man. Memphis, they're just not that powerhouse, man. I think the SEC's got a little respect. I understand Memphis has been strong in the last few years coming out, and they're improving their basketball program and they're improving the football program. They're coming along, but I just don't see Ole Miss crapping the bed on this. I think they're going to go in and take care of business. So I'll go Mississippi with you on that one.
Very good, very good. Now there's one more I definitely want to talk about because I just never believe that the team is as good as everybody always thinks that they are. But it's Notre Dame at Louisville. They got Notre Dame putting 20 on them. I mean, Louisville isn't as the same Louisville. They're not as great, but they're at home. I don't know if they're going to get beat by 3 touchdowns, right? Like, I don't know.
3 touchdowns is like people. When we talk about this, remember, these are just kids out there.
Right, right. And this is also Notre Dame, who they always like make them better than they really are, you know?
Yeah, well, when you play in an independent conference and get to choose your own schedule. No,
I think they're part of the ACC now, dude.
What?
Did they do that?
Louisville? No, they're part of the
Notre
ACC.
Dame.
How about Notre Dame?
I think Notre Dame joined a conference recently.
No, the football. They joined the ACC with the basketball and other sports, but the football team is still independent.
Oh yeah, that's true. They are still independent. I'm
So,
sorry. I was referring to their basketball. I apologize.
that's totally fine because it makes sense for you to be playing the college football to be part of the conference. But it's
No,
like
no, no.
the Ohio State trying to trademark the.
Well, it is a strong article.
Uh, I
Better
like.
than a Ohio State. It's like
I don't like you say, man. I just don't believe in Notre Dame to be that dominant. And Louisville's a tricky team, man. I'm coming up the fastest score. So
right. Yeah, I believe Louisville will keep this close. So I don't believe in Notre Dame, even though I still think Notre Dame will win it. I just don't think they're going to win it that convincingly. I think this will be a close game.
all right, let's see. Got 10 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that we agreed on. We did not agree on Vanderbilt nor the MTSU game. But we did agree on Florida, Georgia Tech, Utah, Texas A&M, Wisconsin, Alabama, Oregon, New Mexico, Ole Miss, and Louisville. So it's that time for the lock of the week. So who do you got the lock of the week this week?
Lock of the week, huh? Well,
So let's just say this: like you got like $50 left. You ain't got nothing.
if I have 50 bones left and I got to put it all down on somebody, I'm going to put it on LSU on the 28 points on Georgia Southern. I just don't think LSU with this new facilities that they just got, I don't think they can show up and not bring the noise. Putting up maybe a little extra because with these new facilities, I feel like they're trying to, set a new precedent there at LSU. And I think they're trying to have, I guess, a new culture. I mean, not that they haven't been winning. I think they're just trying to win more convincingly, trying to keep up with Alabama. So I think they're going to put up some numbers on this one.
I agree with you on that, but my lock of the week has to be something different, something out of left field, and I'm going to go something crazy because it's the first week. My lock of the week is going to be Rice going up against Army. That's right. Rice is down by 23-point underdog. Army. I just don't believe in Army. I'm just going to say Rice University for the lock of the week.
So, okay, well, I mean, I think the Army did pretty well last year.
But I just don't believe them. The year-by-year team. Rice University, baby.
Sounds like you're hating the armed forces. I don't want you besmirching our military.
Not besmirching military here. The University of A that I would still dislike them. But
all right. Well, those are our picks for the week, everybody. Hopefully we have picked right. Again, the games will be starting here very soon. Did you have something you wanted to deliver to the folks, Duke?
Yes, so we got to do our parlay of the week. So out of our 3 teams, who do you think are guaranteed winners here? A 3-team parlay.
A 3-team parlay, huh?
I like Florida, Utah, and Wisconsin.
All right, man. You're not going to put Alabama on that? Come on.
Ooh, Alabama. Yeah. Hold on. Let's take Wisconsin out of there because we need a guarantee. So Florida.
I mean, Alabama's going to slaughter you.
Yeah. So Alabama, Florida, and Utah. It's going to be our 3-game parlay of the week. So what we do, let me explain this to our fans real fast. Jonathan puts up $50. I put up $50 to start the season. Our goal is to make money and not put any more money into the pot because that'd be ridiculous. So our first week we'll be putting $100. Our first week we'll be putting $1 down. So each game we got 10 games picked, $10 there. We got a lock of the weeks, which is $2 there, and then of course our 3-game parlay. So we're here to make you guys money. We'll be on Twitter soon, putting out our picks. We'll also be on social media soon with our own Money Mouth. Please also listen to us on the Ricky Williams trilogy, where we just discuss the football.
Yeah, we discuss football and other sports, depending on what's going on, if it's important.
If it's important. It's been tough this preseason, but look for that.
Talked about a lot of feet.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did with Antonio Brown's feet and how disgusting that was. But yes, watch for the show to be dropped on Money Mouth. Will be coming out on Wednesdays, so it'll be every Wednesday. Check out Money Mouth for your picks. Get your picks in early, and then we're looking out for the Williams trilogy to be dropping on a Thursday, but that may change in the future. So please check us out at Fumbruski Sports. We'd like to thank Fumbruski for giving us the time of day to be a part of a great corporation. Not corporation, but great company. My bad. Everything's a corporation these days. Anything else for you just like to say, buddy?
No, not at all. Just go out there and make some money.
That's right, man. Because you know what? Gambling is the smartest thing you can do if you're good at it. And we're good at it.
All right. And I will see you all later. Go Chiefs.
Go Titans. Until next time. And